Krishna. Hare Krishna devotees. Please accept. Okay. We have four of us.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So we are four of us, and Anil Prabhu is going to. We will begin without any delay.
Hare, Hare Krishna Prabhu, I'm still in train station waiting.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you for.
Yeah, I'm still in train station. Because of the train, it was delayed, and then I'm in the transition now.
That's fine, Prabhu. Once you reach home and you are okay to read, just indicate us. That's fine. You can text.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Hare
And
Krishna.
so we have Nimisha Mataji. She has joined. She's muted, but she's able to listen. Maybe I don't know if she's able to read. But if any devotee who is not who is muted, who is going to hear only, please let us know by text if you are able to read as well. So now we are going to begin text 39. And thank you, Harvind Prabhu. I think you are the one who is living the furthest away from Bhakti Vedanta Manor. You live in Colchester. We had lost the contact. I mean, we were out of contact for 2 years. Then it is a very good reunion with you, and that reunion is through Bhagavad Gita. That's amazing. And I'm still pleased that you are still chanting 16 rounds every day, also making your son chant. Anil Prabhu is going to read chapter 6, text 39. Prabhu, would you like to begin?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Etanme sanshayam Krishna chetum rahasya sheshita tavadanya sanshayasya chetana hyupapadyate. Etat, this is me, my, sanshayam, doubt, Krishna, O Krishna, chetam, to dispel, arhasi, you are requested, asheshata, completely, tvam, then you, anya, other, sanshayasya, of the doubt, asya, this, cheta, remover, na, never, he, certainly, upapadhyay, upapadyate, is to be found. This is my doubt, O Krishna, and I ask you to dispel it completely. But for you, no one is to be found who can destroy this doubt. Hare Krishna. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Krishna is the perfect knower of the past, present, and future. In the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord said that all living entities existed individually in the past, they exist now and in the present, and they continue to retain individual identity in the future. Even after liberation from the material entanglement, so he has already cleared up the question of the future of the individual living entity. Now Arjuna wants to know of the future of the unsuccessful transcendentalist. No one is equal to or above Krishna. And certainly, the so called great sages and philosophers who are at the mercy of material nature cannot equal him. Therefore, the verdict of Krishna is final and complete answer to all doubts because he knows past, present, and future perfectly. But no one knows him. Krishna and Krishna conscious devotees alone can know what is what. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, Arjun is uh, giving emphasis on the same question which he asked in previous two verses. In 37 and 38, he asked uh, Krishna that the person who is at the beginning starts with the path of transcendence, but later on he falls from there. What is his future? And he asked Krishna that he has a doubt on this. He doesn't have any doubt regarding the Krishna's position to answer this, but he has just doubt on this point and he want to clear it from Krishna. And he understands very well that Krishna can perfectly answer this question and dispel his doubt. So this is a perfect attitude of a disciple, a devotee, to go to Krishna or Guru for the perfect answer. And all the other sages, all the saints, all the rishis, they all depend upon the material nature. But Krishna, he has created this material nature. He does not depend upon that. He is the owner of everything. He is the producer of everything. So he is not dependent upon the material nature. He is the perfect identity to clear all the doubts. Hare Krishna.
So wonderful. Thank you so much. All perfectly valid points. I will just add little bit. And Dipti Mataji just joined. We just finished reading 639. Anil Prabhu read the everything and gave comments as well. Very beautiful comments. And in material world, for example, sorry, Harshit maybe he may create a big toy. Harshit may make a big toy, but he will not be able to control it. He can be a producer. He cannot be controller of it. Because if the toys is broken out of order, he may not be able to fix it. In the same way, Naresh Prabhu may establish a big corporation, big industry. He is the owner, he is the proprietor. But when it goes out of control, he is not able to control it. That's the situation when we are controller. But when Krishna is the owner, Krishna is the proprietor, Krishna is also controller. He controls. That is the difference. And that is point number one. Point number two, I would like to relate is it's good to have doubt. Having a doubt, not knowing anything, no matter how simple is the question, is not a problem. As long as you approach the right authority, right person, that's fine. If you don't approach the right person, you are blind, you are in ignorance, you are in blind. Imagine what will happen if you ask another blind person to help you cross the road. How can a blind can lead a blind? And in the society, they approach it, it's happening. Blind is leading a blind. Whereas Arjuna is asking Krishna, that it is very good to ask Krishna. And here in the purport, Prabhupada says that living entities are eternal, they are ever existent. And I will just hello, sorry, hello, meeting मा छु हजुर भोलितिर कुरा गर्नुपर्छ हजुर sorry हजुर I will put it on silent mode. Sorry about that. So Mm, I would like to share something. Hope you can see this verse 212. And you know, Harshit, the line I have selected, can you read it out? Can you unmute yourself and read it out? Can you read it loudly?
Never was there a time when I did not exist, or nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us be.
Cease to be. Thank you, Harshit. So this was the verse Prabhupada was referring to in the purport. It is not necessary to explain, but I just wanted to relate it. Um, some of us may have missed this chapter earlier, so I just wanted to mention this. So what does it mean? It means we are ever existent. It's not that we are living now and when we pass away, we will finish, we will stop existing. We will be continue, we will be living. So if we are to continue living forever, then why not ask what will happen in future life? What is the future of the transcendentalist? It is very good to know, because our form can change, our reality will not change. Our substance, which is we are eternal soul, that will remain same all the time. The cloth, the uniform outfit may change. Human body is uniform, body may change. So in future also we will exist. That's why it is good to ask. With that, if anybody has any question, please speak up. Otherwise, we will move to text 40. There was something. So Krishna is final and complete answers to all doubts. Question may come, we don't see Krishna, what to do? The answer is, who would like to give? We don't see Krishna. Arjun saw Krishna. We don't see Krishna. Very briefly, one or maximum two sentences. Who would like to answer to this question? Anil Prabhu, would you like to answer to this question?
Sorry, Prabhuji, I did not understand the question perfectly.
Okay.
Saw Krishna, Arjun saw Krishna, but what is the question?
Yeah, the question the question is, here in the purport, Prabhupada says that Krishna knows past, present, future, and Krishna can answer all the questions. He can remove all the doubts. Is written in the purport. A question may be asked, okay, Arjuna had Krishna in front of him to ask the question. But like Dipti Mataji asked in the past, but we don't have Krishna in front of us. How can we resolve our doubts? That is the question could be asked. So would you like to answer in maximum two sentences?
Yeah, Prabhuji, I can answer in one sentence. Through parampara.
Thank you.
The
So you said Bhagavad Gita, Guru Parampara.
Guru
Perfect.
the 3 points. We can ask Krishna is actually Bhagavad Gita is the representative of Krishna. Bhagavatam is the representative of Krishna. Krishna is in the book form.
Yes, literary incarnation. That's good. So Krishna
Guru
and yeah,
Parampara.
thank you. Excellent. That's exactly the same point I was going to make. And Nimisha Mataji texts that super soul in our heart. And a person may not be able to come to the platform to hear and understand the voice of super soul may take time. And I might have a misunderstanding that, oh, my super soul has told me to do this, so I'm doing. To come to realize the instruction of super soul may take time, but to understand Bhagavad Gita is easier. I mean, much easier than realizing the super soul. So Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and holy name of Lord Krishna are non-different from Krishna. So, and Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. Shastras are Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. And these, so if there is a doubt, some devotee said, if you have any problem in life, and if you open one random page in Bhagavad Gita, you will find the answer to your problem. Some devotees even said that. So Bhagavad Gita is not different from Krishna. So we don't need to worry. Krishna's words are not different from Krishna. And Arvind Prabhu sent a message, all from Harshit. Okay. All right. So thank you so much. Thank you, Nimisha Mataji, Anil Prabhu, and everybody. Now we will move to 640. I begin. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Parthanaiveha Namotra Vinashastasya Vidyate Nahi Kalyana Krit Kaschid Durgatim Tata Gachati. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said. Here, Krishna Uvacha, Uvacha means said. The writer Vyasadeva doesn't say Krishna Uvacha, he says Bhagavan Uvacha because Krishna is Bhagavan himself. And there are 5 opulences. And these 5 opulences Krishna has in food. Actually, even saying fool is not fair for Krishna. He has unlimited amount of these 5 opulences actually. That's why he is Bhagwan. O son of Pritha. Partha means O son of Pritha. Not ever. Never is it so. Iha in this material world. No, never. Amruta. Amutra. Amutra in the next life. Vinasha, destruction, tasya is vidyate exist. No, never. He is certainly Kalyana Krit, one who is engaged in auspicious activities. Kachid, anyone. Durgatim, to degradation. Tata, my friend. Gachati goes. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, when I'm not speaking as loudly as normally. Is this quite clear to understand? Can you hear?
Yes, Prabhuji, I have one question here.
Yes.
Tat is actually said for the elders, isn't it? And here it says Tat is my friend, isn't it?
Well, Tata, my friend. So maybe, but here in this context, Prabhupada translated as my friend.
My friend, yeah, because normally Tatsri is like for Bhishma Pitama they used to call, isn't it?
Well, I had heard Dada Sri, not Tata, I'm not sure.
If you see Mahabharata, it says Tatsri.
Okay, all right. Maybe.
That's why I was asking. Sorry, it's fine.
Sorry, I don't know that.
Okay. Elder brother of the father.
Tat.
But in Sanskrit, like you earlier said, that one word may be having different meanings.
Yes, yes, that's the thing. And yeah, so now we know it means friend as well. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O son of Pritha, a transcendentalist engaged in auspicious activities does not meet with destruction, either in this world or in the spiritual world. One who does good, my friend, is never overcome by evil. Here Krishna says, O son of Pritha, transcendentalist engaged in auspicious activities. What is transcendentalist? What is transcendentalist? Would you like to answer, Dipti Mataji? What is transcendentalist?
A practicing devotee.
Okay, yes, that is a very safe and a
Very
good
simple
answer.
form of it.
Anil Prabhu, is there any different way of answering what is transcendentalist?
Yes, Prabhuji. Like the material people or the Mayavadis, they are not adopting the transcendental path. It is the devotees of Krishna who use the transcendent, who wants to practice transcendentalism. So the transcendentalist is a practicing devotee is a good answer.
Thank you. Thank you for the contribution. So first, this transcendental word is used so many times. It's a transcend. It is made from transcend. Transcend. Transcend means go beyond. How do you go? From where you go beyond? Here, transcend means to go beyond from the
From
from
material
the
to spiritual, Prabhuji.
sorry.
Material to spiritual.
Yes. Here, transcend means to go beyond from what we can see, what we can experience, what we can see, understand, what we can touch. That is material. So to go from material to spiritual platform is transcend. So one who has transcend, that is called transcendentalist. And to transcend, the act of transcending is called transcendental. And one who is involved in transcendental way is called transcendentalist. So we first, if we know the meaning of transcend, then it is helpful for us to know transcendentalist and transcendental as well. Then I would like to, so transcendental is Divya. It's Brahma, it's Divya. And opposite of transcendental is material. So I would like to begin with the purport. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Narada Muni instructs Vyasadeva as follows. Bhagavatam is the narration by Srila Shukadev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj. And again, that same Bhagavatam, because Sutta Goswami was one of the audience in where Parikshit Maharaj was listening to Bhagavatam. Actually, Bhagavatam then we say Sutta Goswami narrated to Shaunaka Rishis. And in today's verse also we spoke about it in the Srimad Bhagavatam group. We have a group, Srimad Bhagavatam daily, one verse a day. So in Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam is a story within the story, within the story, within the story. It is like that. So, and in that Bhagavatam, Srila Shukadev Goswami whimsically is not saying anything whimsically. He is referring to authorized person, Narad, previous Acharya. Narad is previous Acharya. in the Vaishnava disciplic succession, like Anil Prabhu mentioned earlier. Naradji says, Tyaktva swadharmam charanam bhujam harer bhajanna pakotha pateta tato yadi yatra kwa bivadram abud amusya kim ko varthapto bhajatam swadharmataha. So, tyaktva swadharma, by abandoning the swadharma, charanam bhujam harer, taking the shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Hari. These are the key words. Translation is, so swadharma is used very well here. It is used. Please be mindful of this terminology, swadharma. Swadharma is in English, normally it is translated as, Anil Prabhu, how is it translated as swadharma? Because you use this word so many times. Please unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna. Lord Krishna in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita asked us to do both the duties at the same time, Savadharma and Sanatana Dharma.
So what is the meaning of swadharma in
Savadharma,
Sanskrit?
the
Oh,
activity which
sorry, in English.
Savadharma is the activities which we do for ourselves, for our family, for our country, for our city, our people, our society. That is Savadharma. And at the same time for our soul and for the Krishna, that is Sanatana Dharma.
Thank you, Anil Prabhu. Swadharma is translated as in English by Prabhupada prescribed duties. And prescribed duties or swadharma is for ourselves, but that is regulated based on the Shastras. It's not against
Prabhuji,
Shastras.
you're freezing. You're freezing. It's just muting.
Who is muting? Me.
It's we can't hear you. It was frozen, sorry, for a couple of seconds.
Okay. Because we, two of us are, okay, because two of us were unmuted. So how is it now, Mataji? Is it frozen?
No, much better now. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Swadharma is prescribed duties, and these swadharma or prescribed duties it is of course for our for our maintenance, for our bodily requirements, but it has to be regulated. It has to be based on Shastras. And prescribed duties is varnashram system is the best example of prescribed duties. We practice occupational duties based on Shastras. We don't go against Shastras. That is Swadharma. I begin reading the translation within the purport, and we begin reading purport. If someone gives up all material prospects and takes complete shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there is no loss or degradation in any way. So this is quite straightforward. It is saying that if you don't do your material duties properly, but now then you do your spiritual duty very well, there is no loss or degradation. On the other hand, a non-devotee may fully engage in his occupational duties and yet not gain anything. So here Prabhupada has translated Swadharma as occupational duties. So if someone does occupational duties very well, but does not practice Krishna consciousness, there is no gain at all. Every material success equals to zero. Until and unless we add one before zero, there is no benefit. And I'm just looking distracted by pop-up says 10 minutes remaining. We will, whilst I have this message, when it is 1 or 2 minutes remaining, we will log off and log back in using the same link. Harshit, Harbin Prabhu, everybody, please use the same link to log back in. For material prospects, there are many activities, both scriptural and customary. This in Vedas also, there is economics, there is Ayurveda, etc. So how to get good partner, good married partner, how to earn money, etc. There are so many things. And how to become rich, there are things in Vedas. So it is both scriptural and customary as well for material prospects. A transcendentalist is supposed to give up all material activities for the sake of spiritual advancement in life, Krishna consciousness. So giving up, here Prabhupada says that transcendentalist has to give up material activities. Does it mean you stop doing material things? Eating also material. I give one example. Eating also material. But if you eat Krishna prasadam, that is not material. That is spiritual. So Prabhupada doesn't mean that we stop doing the activities. We rather transcendentalize those activities. Do them for the sake of Krishna. Flower can be material, flower can be transcendental. If we pick up the flower, give to somebody to win their heart, nothing else, for material purpose, that is material. If we pick up the flower and offer it to Krishna, if we even plant the flower, the garden, in order to offer Krishna, that is transcendental. So it's not the activity, it is the purpose of the activity, it is the consciousness behind the activity that discriminates from material to spiritual. One may argue that, I'm continuing reading, one may argue that by Krishna consciousness one may attain the highest perfection if it is completed. But if one does not attain such perfectional states, then he loses both materially and spiritually. So we may have false conception that when we are in Krishna consciousness, we have to achieve the ultimate platform. That is misconception, as Prabhupada says in the purport. And Prabhupada is not making up. Prabhupada is saying, repeating in detail for us whatever Krishna is saying. Krishna himself says that. That's why Prabhupada is repeating. Some people blame Prabhupada. He just, they don't accept. There are people. And if we see such people, we can't win them. We can't argue with them. If they ask, then we can humbly, then we can answer. But we can't we can't win them. The best thing is simply leave that person, leave that place where they criticize Prabhupada. There are people like that. And even online, even in person, we can see such people. They haven't understood. It is enjoined, continuing reading, it is enjoined in the scriptures that one has to suffer the reaction for not executing prescribed duties. Therefore, one who fails to discharge transcendental activities properly becomes subjected to these reactions. Please, there is dilemma here. Prabhupada is presenting dilemma for our better understanding. It is said in the scriptures that one who fails in executing his prescribed duties, he has to suffer the reaction for not executing prescribed duties. So, for example, Anil Prabhu has to suffer the reaction if he does not execute the prescribed duties, swadharma. If he fails in carrying out his swadharma, he will have to suffer. Scriptures have said that. Now, then what to do? It's a dilemma. The Bhagavatam assures that dilemma is resolved, reconciled now here. However, the Bhagavatam assures the unsuccessful transcendentalist that there need be no worries. However, Bhagavatam, which is Grantharaj, that assures that unsuccessful transcendentalist there need be no worries, even though he may be subjected to the reaction for not perfectly executing prescribed duties. So Bhagavatam is saying if we don't execute the prescribed duties very well, we do not have to worry. Bhagavatam says he is still not a loser because auspicious Krishna consciousness is never forgotten, and one so engaged will continue to be so even if he is low born in the next life. I give one best example. I don't know if I have said in the past. The person, the living entity, even if it is low born like a dog, let's take example, still will carry out devotional service. In Navadvip Parikrama, when we been, today's Parikrama place would be very far from yesterday's. The bus had to take us, what to speak of walking, bus had to take us to the starting point. Then we used to go whole day Parikrama. And next day would be in different area. If I tell you, for example, today it begins from Southall, tomorrow from Hemel Hempstead, we can't walk. Even for a dog, it's quite far. Every day there was one particular dog. He came inside the crowd, in the middle of the crowd, walked with the devotees, chanting holy name. That dog, surprised. For 3-4 days, that dog kept coming. Whereas there were other dogs, they were barking at the people, devotees walking. Hung, 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 like that. They were barking. Whereas this dog, quietly, he was not scared, and devotees were not scared of him. He just walked with us. Because who would I talk to? My wife and I were talking. Other devotees, international devotees, we were not very, confident to talk, to disturb other devotees. But we were looking this dog. Other devotees also must be noticing. And then the parikrama group ended up in prasadam area, open field. Prasadam were being distributed, and the dog was there. He was not sitting in the row of devotees. How nice, how good etiquette. He was sitting further, about 10 yards away from the last person on the queue, on the open field. I was eating, looking at dog. I was feeling very sorry. Nobody is asking, giving him food, prasadam. After I finished prasadam, honoring prasadam, I went to the person who was distributing the food, prasadam, and I asked, can I get some prasadam for dog? And the answer I got was, which is right, I shouldn't have approached. I was told, devotee ko khane ka nahi mil raha hai, aap kutte ko khilana chahte hain. That's what he said. Because that devotee doesn't know what kind of dog I'm talking about. I didn't want to argue. I said, oh yes, devotees, prasadam running out, devotees not being able to eat.